Hey everybody, I'm Sam Gross from electricbikereport.com, and we are here at the Big Gear Show in Park City speaking with the good folks at Magnum Bikes. I have Ben Turnus, who's product support with Magnum, here with me, and he's going to tell us a little bit about this bike, the Magnum Scout.
All right, so what we've got here is some of the best stuff that we can get a hold of right now in the industry. There are some backups in supply and manufacturing, but we feel like the component spec on this bike is as good as you're going to get right now, especially for this type of bike and absolutely for this price range. So with regard to that, we've got Logan brakes, Logan hydraulic brakes. This is a very similar brake that you're going to get with a lot of other companies that are showing Tektro or TRP brakes. That's one of those. Dual piston hydraulic brakes. It's got adjustable reach. Being hydraulic, it uses mineral oil, which is very common, so you can find bleed kits for this type of an oil basically everywhere. Shimano componentry for the shifter and the derailleur, so the drivetrain you're also going to find easily replaceable, very serviceable, no problems there. It's a Suntour suspension fork. With this one, you do have adjustable preload on the left side, which is nice because it'll obviously offer ride tunability to anybody's preference or body weight, right? The second part about it's got a lockout switch, so if you're on pavement more than dirt, you can lock the fork out just as easy as that, and then it won't move for a little bit more efficient uphill, especially on the pavement kind of climbing. The wheels are something that it's not proprietary to us, but it's something that we believe a lot in, is a thicker gauge spoke. It's a 13 gauge spoke with a real wide rim, so it gives you a lot of stability on the front end and the back end. With our 750 watt motor, you've got to have a thicker gauge spoke back here just simply for power transfer. If you don't have a thick spoke, you're going to get a lot of flexibility and just a real weak feel on the throttle or the power assist. So with that 750 watt motor, we've got a 48 volt, 17.5 amp hour battery. So this will get you anywhere from 25 to 35 miles, depending on how big a guy you are, how much cargo you're supporting, and really what the terrain and the wind is like, believe it or not. You guys know this as well as I do. The wind and the terrain is going to cost the battery a lot more energy depending on what it is, right? It is a Bafang motor system. We've got a specific display made for Magnum that really simplifies what you're going to see as far as output, speed, battery power, battery charge, wattage, etc. But the really nice thing is it's simple, but it's really easy to read. They've got big numbers, big display, so you can see it from afar away if you're one of the guys that just can't see very well. Other than that, we've got a complement of Pro Max parts, meaning the stem, the seat post, and the crankset, so you're just getting nice forged aluminum stuff that's really not going to have any problems. Very adjustable, very easy to work on. And other than that, I think that rounds out the Scout.
Awesome. So who is the perfect type of ride? Like, who is this bike built for?
Oh, that's excellent. One of the best things about electric bikes is that it's going to allow everybody to ride bikes. The example is not everybody is a cyclist, right? Nobody is riding or practicing for the Tour de France or training for big mountain bike rides. This will help everybody that wants to get on a dirt road. You go to Yellowstone, you go to any of the national parks, and you get out. It doesn't matter your physical fitness. It doesn't matter your physical ability. All you've got to do is be able to swing your leg over and pedal. So it really is for everybody. Women especially will like this one, and we'll talk about the Nomad a little bit later because it's got an easier standover. But to answer your question, ultimately, this is for the person that wants to ride in the mountains but not have to ride single track and not have to feel the tax of really steep hills.
Awesome. And what's the price point?
This one is $25.99.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ben. So, like many of the other 750 watt fat tire e-bikes we've tested, despite this thing's, what I'm going to assume, considerable weight, this thing climbs really well. We're back on the hill that we've kind of been using as our test hill here at the Big Gear Show. It's long. It's relatively steep in sections, like maybe 6-7%. Enough so that a lot of the folks on traditional road bikes out here for like a fitness ride are struggling to actually, make it up. But I'm in sport mode, not the highest setting by a long shot, and this thing's going just fine. Flipping up the hill at about 15 miles an hour, put it into boost, and it's a considerable boost. Like, I'm now having to shift going uphill because the bike's trying to accelerate. It's going to get 20 miles an hour here pretty quick, which is really impressive considering how heavy this bike is in the fact that these fat tires don't roll particularly well. They don't exactly have, they got a lot of rolling resistance. So here we are again on kind of a steeper section. And this is kind of all a testament to that 750 watt Fung motor. These things are powerful. We've tested them before, we know them well. But every time they are just very solid motors for affordable e-bikes. Bike overall rides really well. Even though we're on pavement, I've got the fork open to kind of take the edge off of my injured wrist. And it helps, it's really nice. It's a smooth ride. The fat tires help as well. It's very stable. The bike doesn't, you know, swing back and forth particularly quick, and it's not very slow either. So it's a nice handling bike. I'm not sure I'd describe it as nimble. I actually don't know if I'd describe really any fat tire e-bike as nimble, but it gets around, it corners well. So if you've liked this bike, be sure to give us a like. And if you want to see more from Magnum, subscribe to our channel. We're going to have a couple of more short micro reviews with them, and we hope to do more with them in the future. And so for Electric Bike Report at the Big Gear Show in Park City, I'm Sam Gross. Thanks for watching.